Hi, welcome to Main Street Macro. I'm Neela Richardson. Today, we're going to discuss a topic that you may have had some familiarity with over the past year. That's virtual work. And to mark the occasion, I'm actually going to join you today from my kitchen instead of from my office. In fact, many of us are making this transition back to the office, and companies are at an inflection point, whether to make remote work more permanent or to bring people back into the office. That's why the ADP Research Institute surveyed 9,000 workers in the United States to get their views on remote work versus on-site work and what the advantages were or disadvantages were to each. Here are our four key findings. Key finding number one is that the return to work may lead to higher quality but less frequent communications and better work-life balance. It may not be surprising to you that on-site workers enjoyed more spontaneous interactions and communications with their colleagues. What might be more of a surprise is that they spent far less time in meetings than remote workers. In fact, they only reported 15% of their time was in meetings compared to a quarter of the day in meetings spent by remote workers. They also found that on-site workers actually had a shorter workday, almost an average of an hour shorter than remote workers whose tasks and work tasks are often interrupted by personal commitments. And so in that sense, better work-life balance, better socialization when it came to on-site versus remote work. The next key finding we saw is that on-site work tended to promote job success and career development. In fact, when we asked non-managers whether it was important to be in the office or not, slightly over a majority, 57%, said that it was important for employees to show up in an office location. And they were right, according to their managers, because about a similar percentage of managers said that it was important for workers to be on site. The third key finding we found is that returning to the office may mean a change in team dynamics and agility. In fact, many remote workers reported a sense of team spirit that transcended their physical locations. And that team spirit also led them to say things like their team was more collaborative, more supportive, less gossipy, and less cliquish than on-site workers reported. Key finding 4 is that hybrid work may be the best of both worlds. In fact, hybrid workers reported more connection to their teammates than either remote workers or on-site workers. And hybrid parents with children under 18 were the most connected to their teams of anyone. 83% of them said that they were connected. So hybrid work may be, in fact, the future of work. And I know one thing I love about working from home is this pretty girl right here, Lavender, one of my favorite coworkers of all time. Hi, sweetie. Thanks for joining us on the Main Street Macro this week. For more of our insights on the week ahead, please go to adpri.org.